Another episode of Ask Harbi, and today we're talking all about frozen shoulder. Thanks to everyone joining in on the live chat, and thanks to everyone who's sent me lots of encouraging DM messages about the benefits that they've been gaining, giving me testimonials, reviews, and I really appreciate all the feedback, and I'm glad this is helping, and I'm here to serve. So do DM me any questions that you might have. Today's question is something that I'm seeing a lot at the moment. Now in the therapy world, they say when you see things, you see them in threes, meaning that if you see someone with back pain, you tend to see a lot of back pain patients in a row. And at the moment, I'm seeing a lot of people with frozen shoulder. So let me know where you guys are tuning in from. Biram Singh, thanks for tuning in. Bhajanjeet, Leenas, Ramp, Pao, Khalsa Rajinder, Anu Sandhu, Jot Manjot, Gurbir, Anu Sandhu. So thanks for joining in, guys, and we're going to get straight into it in terms of frozen shoulder. Now, the first thing about frozen shoulder is a lot of people think they have frozen shoulder when they don't, and then there's another group of people who think they don't have frozen shoulder and they do. So the way to differentiate between whether you have it or not is, can you take your arm up? If you can take it up and it hurts, but then you can continue to take it up and then it feels better, then you have impingement and rotator cuff as opposed to frozen shoulder. If you get to a point and you physically can't take it any further, and you can push and try and get somebody else to lift, but it won't go any further, or you can't take your arm behind your back, then that's frozen shoulder. And it's very different to a rotator cuff issue. Now, what happens with frozen shoulder is we still don't know why it happens. It often happens after surgery or after infection, but most often I see it just insidious, meaning it just comes on without any particular cause, is that the capsule starts to hug onto the ball and socket joint. Now, while I'm in the clinic, let me just show you around. So this is the reception. I've got a shoulder inside, but not a real one, a plastic one. So I'll show you that while I'm here. Oh, you're a physiotherapist. Awesome. You can chime in. I should have you. Do you want to join in on the live chat? Let me know, Gurbi, and then you can add your expertise as well. It'd be good to have, going forward, I'm going to have people who've done intermittent fasting or have had back pain and got better. I'm going to have them jump in on the Instagram live chat so that they can share their experiences. This is the Southall Clinic, and this is the shoulder I was telling you all about. No one was harmed in getting this shoulder. But if we get this out here, so we have some better light, and I'll show you what I mean. So you have your... We're going to turn this into audio as well, into a podcast. And the people who are listening and get really frustrated because they won't be able to see much. But the shoulder joint is articulation, scapular-thoracic articulation, which means that there's three parts to the joint. There's the back part, there's the front, which is the acromioclavicular, which is the collarbone joining onto part of a bigger bone called the scapula, and then there's the glenohumeral, which is the ball that sits in the socket. Now what happens with frozen shoulder is the capsule tends to hug down on the glenohumeral, so the arm bone, and then you get restriction in range of motion. It gets really painful for you to move your arm, and it's a nightmare. Now a lot of people come to see me for this type of thing, and I tell them they have two choices. They can either go down the injection route and they can get steroid injection into the shoulder, which in my experience works pretty well. There's a lot of controversy around whether steroid injections actually work, and NICE, the National Institute of Clinical Excellence, is doing some work, and they still advise steroid injections, but there's no proof that it works on over and above placebo for shoulder pain, as far as I am aware. However, in my experience, it works really well. So you put it in, you don't get the range of motion back, but your pain goes, which is really helpful because we want pain to go. Forex trading, thanks for joining in. Amol Deep, Harpreet Singh, thanks for joining in. Pete Knight, security, good to have you on this live chat. You know a lot about training, so you should jump into this live chat. I think you can request to add yourself. You mentioned that you have any shoulder problems, so we can talk it through. But also, your experience in terms of what kind of training you can do and what kind you can't do. So injection is an option. The other option is the physiotherapy route, or the therapy route, like acupuncture, the types of things I can do. And those take longer. They help relieve the pain, but a lot of it is down to you. And a lot of it with my patients, I explain the options to them. You can go down the injection route, or you can go down the therapy route, or there's a third option which is called a release, where they put you under general anesthetic and then force your arm to do that range of motion. That's not recommended in my experience. So there's two options. Therapy route, people who are athletes who train tend to go down the therapy route because they want to get better. They want to get better naturally, and they want to retain their range of motion, so they want to do the work in order to get back there. And the main takeaway home message for this video on frozen shoulder is that it usually takes about a year. Whether you do nothing, whether you do something, it's usually going to take about a year. So I'm going to take you back into the clinic. So with this kind of thing, it's important to know what's going on so you can effectively know your prognosis, how long it's going to take you to get better. If you don't know what's going on, then it's very difficult for you to manage your condition, and you're going to get stressed thinking, why is it not getting better? Maybe this therapist I'm going to see is not very good, or maybe they're missing something, maybe there's something else going on. If you know it's frozen shoulder, then you're going to be a lot more sympathetic to the fact that it's taking its course. And in my experience, they all get better. It's just a matter of time. Now, it usually takes about a year, but it can take longer. And that's the annoying thing. It goes through 3 phases. Freezing, which is when you start losing range of motion. You can't bring your arm behind your back. You can't wash your bum. That kind of thing. You can't comb your hair. And then there's frozen, when you've lost the range of motion, but the pain is kind of gone, but you still can't move your arm very much. And then you've got the soaring. The freezing part is when people usually come to see me saying my shoulder's getting painful, it's been a few months. Now if it's a few months, it's most likely not muscular, because it's very rare for a muscular type of pain to last more than a few months and not get better and get progressively worse without you doing something to it. If it's not getting better and it's getting progressively worse, then potentially you have frozen shoulder. That's another sign. So hopefully this shed some light in terms of your options with frozen shoulder. There's other dietary things that you can do in terms of supplementation if you're into that kind of thing, if you're into more of a holistic model, and you can send me a DM and I'll give you a list and a summary of what you can do specifically. But this is your whistle-stop tour of frozen shoulder, and it's really important for people who have shoulder pain. So let's get to your questions now, which is the important part. Anu, thanks for your message. It's near Shenshas. Everyone in Southall knows Shenshas. It's a famous samosa restaurant, and the Southall location is next to that. I think Shenshas is number 60, we're number 94, and there's a big banner outside saying Southall Therapy Centre. So do come and visit me, have a coffee, come and join me. Gurbir, I need you to jump in on a live chat with me once. Pete Singh, I need you to jump in with a live chat with me once as well, because you're very well versed in the training world, so it'd be good to get your inputs in terms of how you're managing the shoulder injuries, what kind of exercises you're doing. And Anu, yeah, do take me up on the offer. Come in for a coffee. Everyone is welcome. Unlimited coffee and tea. So thanks, guys. If you have any questions, send me a DM. I'm here to serve, and I want to help you guys get healthy, happy, and homely. And I want to do that myself as well. So do DM me, and I'll catch you guys on tomorrow's live chat.